Anything you want to add, Beat?
Pretty much everything said. It was nice to see that it wasn't dead. For a fan to see that he's still going at it, considering, yes, he does have a life. He's a college student. Most of us can relate to that. And it was just nice to see him put out an episode. As Sam said, it wasn't flashy, but you got it's easily understandable considering from what he does in his current day life. And I gotta agree. I thought it was brilliant.
Ooh, brilliant.
Yes, indeed, it was brilliant. Let's see. I really don't know what else to put into it because everybody's pretty much said everything. And being the last person that I am, I need to scrap what's left. Well, yeah, it's understandable. Even though the episode was short, it did have a lot of good jokes that were in the episode. And basically, people kept begging, like, why is Team 4-Star doing so many episodes? But yeah, just take a look at what happened with Lanny. He got his episode out, and now people, I hope, will just shut up already. So, because everybody's got a life and they need to attend to it. So, just be glad that there is at least a few people out there that are still doing stuff. So, they just need to stop complaining. Okay, anyways, with that said, let's move on to the next discussion. Now this is what I just said a second ago. There are too many people out there asking for new episodes and constantly keep asking about the same thing over and over. So now the question is, what are your thoughts on people asking for new episodes?
Yeah, well, it's just, you can't really blame them because, they want more episodes. But the thing is, though, is that, if loads of people keep saying it, it does start to get a little bit irritating, but I can't blame them for asking. They want to know. So I think that's fair enough.
Well,
yeah, and a good example of like when it was like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge. I'm trying to think. It was like Crapple Monsters episode 2, where he used the joke about when's the new episode coming out, and it was just to get back at the fanboys that would constantly pester him about the new episodes coming out. So, I mean, pretty much everybody's doing their hardest to get episodes out, but if they would just at least understand that life isn't all about the interwebs or just something in front of the keyboard just typing up a script. It's more or less real-life stuff that they need to attend to. So, yeah. So, I mean, it's not all about episodes. But, yeah, it's like what Masako said. I mean, it's good to know that there's still people out there that want to see more material just like previous episodes and to upload that onto YouTube or wherever they host their episodes at. So, yeah, pretty much that's what I gotta say. Anybody else want to say anything?
Just the same. Me and Sam are in the same boat. We're not that popular, so we don't really get the need.
how many demands?
Yeah, not very many demands, but in my opinion, I typically don't like to procrastinate on my stuff. I'm like, okay, it's been a month, couple weeks or so. I should probably start scripting the next episode. So, get it out of the way.
Well, one positive is that if they start asking for the next episode, it shows you're doing your job. You're doing something right. And me and Vegeta actually have a little thing saying how long it is after we put the episode up before the first person says, when's the next episode? And the quickest it's been has been about 2 hours.
Wow.
2 hours after the episode went out, someone will go, when's the next episode? It's like, we just put the new one out. It's like, it's unbelievable, really.
I may have to try that out next time whenever I do get people to actually watch my stuff. Okay.
It's a little game.
Anything you want to add, Beat?
For my subscribers, almost 200, I've been really lucky because no one's really asked me when the next one's coming out. I've been blessed with my minimum under 200 subscribers, but it's nice to have people who don't pester me too much. But I have been asked that question several times, and I agree with Monsko. Usually it's just because you're doing your job, our hobby and people like your stuff and they're just eager to see it. Usually, there's one couple of times it's happened to me. I usually take it as a compliment. I try not to think of it as an annoyance as much because I try to think that maybe I'm doing something somewhat humorous.
Let's see. The next discussion is a lot of people have a lot of creative ways to come up with puns for their abridged series and usually put those in episodes. So the next one is, what are your thoughts on the best way to create jokes for your abridged series?
Sam, go.
I think that the greatest way to come up with jokes for an abridged series is do what everybody else, does and just take a little Karibo script and then just rearrange the words. And that's exactly that. I think that is a surefire way to make a good abridged. In all honesty, I think that you should just try and be creative and just I really don't exactly know how to say how I script anything. I just kind of pull out a beanbag chair, some Cheetos, a piece of paper, and I just start jotting down ideas. And when the paper is just stained with Cheeto crumbs, then that's when I know that I've probably done scripting. And there's really no surefire way. There is no how-to book on how to make jokes good. That's really all I can say. But I'm sure that somebody can come up with something better.
Well, I'm kind of the wrong person to ask, because I'm not the one that writes that writes for my series for things that I do, but usually it just involves going back and forth between me and Vegeta, and we just make sure that what we've got is something we like, because if we don't like something, then we're not going to put it out. So you just have to make sure that what we've got is something we like. That's the first thing. If you ever want to make something, you got to like it.
For me, where I get the best writing just comes from just watching the episode over and over again. I'd say for like jokes, what I do is I typically make random obligatory references to other things. My first episode referenced NBC's Heroes. My second episode kind of referenced Dragon Ball Z a bit. And I think my third episode is going to probably wind up referencing Death Note in some way, shape, or form. But it's all in the timing, really, for your jokes. As for your writing, you just get it, like Masako said, just get it to a point where you like it, and then if you don't like the jokes, then why use them? Do you have anything to add?
Usually when I script, I like to pull up my chair too, and I have an obsession with Mike and Ike's, but that's another story. But what I like to do is usually I'll open up my trusty WordPad, and I'll just jot down some notes. Usually I just play off the actions of what they're doing in the episode, and I'll just write down a couple of, usually I come up with multiple, jokes for a scene, and usually I just try to share them with people who I usually don't. Never mind. I just usually try to show it with other people, and usually they'll give me some feedback, and they'll say, you should use this one, and so I generally trust my friends and play off that one joke.
Cool.
Every time when I usually write my scripts for my episodes, I have this tendency to, excuse me, that's the right word for it. I usually have that thing about me to where I always have to change the plot every episode. And, the good example of it would be, episode 3, where it's, the best way of, killing Raditz. I was, looking at it, and I saw, Gohan doing his little headbutt thing to Raditz's chest, and I kept thinking, what would be more of, a creative way to kill off Raditz? So I figured that since Piccolo would, throw Gohan at a mountain to see, a little bit of his power, I thought that the funniest way would be, to throw Gohan at Raditz just to kill him, and everybody was thinking, oh my god, that was so awesome.
Child bullet.
Well, it's more or less like, oh, look, a diversion, and it's like, what? But yeah, that's just me, because I usually love to change the plot like every episode, so, and it's worked out for me ever since.